You're watching Good Day Columbus on Fox 28.
And welcome back to Good Day Columbus for our Wild Wednesdays. Tiffany Dollins is here with the Columbus Zoo and Aquarium, along with a dingo.
That's right. This is Maggie the dingo.
Maggie.
Australian wild dog is what you can also refer to as. But what Maggie wants to do actually today is greet you guys first.
All right, how does she do that?
The best thing to do is to get down on Maggie's level.
Okay.
And it's a little intimidating, but what Maggie's going to do is come right up to your face. She's going to sniff your breath. She's going to see what you had for breakfast this morning.
Good luck with that, Pete.
Yeah, Pete, hopefully
Maggie's on her
you
back.
had something tasty. But Maggie actually, they sniff each other face to face or nose to nose. That's how they greet each other. That's how they see if they've met you before. So that's a typical dingo greeting.
Hello. Hi, Maggie. Would you like to sniff
And Maggie's
me?
really good, too, around the zoo at knowing if she's met someone before. She does get excited just like a dog does because she's been raised at the zoo for the last 8 years. She does have some very domestic dog characteristics, but it is important to remember that Maggie is a wild dog. You can kind of think of her kind of like a coyote. So this is a type of dog that originated in Asia, and they've been in Australia now for
Tiffany,
about
I'd like to smell you.
Yes, thank you.
It's been a while. Oh, you do smell familiar.
Yes, I do remember you.
So when it comes to face like that, I mean, you mentioned in the commercial break that that's like unlike dogs. I mean, well, let's face it, dogs typically, you think of them going to the other end.
Right.
Well, that's true.
Then,
And you know, Maggie has acquired some bad habits over the years, so she will do that from time to time also, but typically she wants to get to your face.
I mean, because you think of like with domestic dogs that you don't want to get face to face, that that's a sign of aggression.
Exactly. And a lot of times before people touch Maggie, they'll put their hands down for her to sniff. She's really not interested in that for the most part.
Not into that.
She's always trying to get to your face, and that's just typical.
Why did dingoes get such a bad rap?
You know, there was an incident back, I think in the 60s or 70s, the whole dingo ate your baby situation. And there was a movie and lots of media hype, as you guys know. But, you know, dingoes actually will steer clear of people as long as you steer clear of them.
Now,
so
you mentioned she is 8 years old?
She's 8 years old.
How long do they typically live?
You know, dingoes in captivity can live just like a domestic dog can. So she has great medical care at the zoo. She gets a well-balanced diet. So we can see Maggie maybe living into her teens or so. We hope for the most part that Maggie will live a long and healthy life. She's still very healthy. Now, when we talk about her diet, most
what does she eat?
Most people would think that we feed her dog food. But she actually is a scavenger in the wild. So she will not eat dog food at the zoo. She eats a raw meat diet. So just like our lions or tigers or other animals at the zoo that eat a carnivore diet, she gets a raw meat diet.
Oh, sure. Tell us that after she sniffs her face.
Right.
You know, she looks a lot like a coyote. And is that very similar to what she is?
When we talk about dingoes, we often will refer to them as kind of the coyote of Australia, so people can get a little bit better idea of how they live in Australia. They don't live as pets. A lot of people think that Maggie looks, you know, domesticated, but that is, you know, because she lives at the zoo. But you can kind of think of them more like a coyote in the way that they live. They're going to steer pretty clear of people. They're going to be more scavengers.
Do they travel in packs?
Very loose packs if they do. A lot of times dingoes will be seen by themselves, very solitary, but sometimes they will be seen together being a scavenger. They don't need the great kind of pack mentality that wolves have. However, you know, they're considered more of pests also a lot of times in Australia. They'll go into chicken coops, farming areas. So the farmers there, they get kind of a bad rap because of that also.
And they're typically like about her size? Is she like an average size dingo?
She is for a purebred dingo. Dingoes in Australia over the years, they're just a subspecies of the domestic dog. So they've been able to breed with domestic dogs. So sometimes you'll see them different sizes, big morning stretches.
She's stretching out. She's seen Shawn do yoga on the show.
Morning yoga.
That would be a downward dog right there.
Downward dingo.
Downward dingo.
Now, let's talk about what's coming up at the zoo
we
right
have
now.
a huge event coming up in the next couple of weeks. We have Jack Hanna's Fall Fest, which is going to be the 21st and 22nd of September. Now, the reason it's such a big event this year is it coincides with Jack's Hanniversary. Jack is celebrating 35 years at the Columbus Zoo. So we're open on that Saturday and Sunday there from 9 to 5 p.m. And there's so many events to pack into that day. You may want to come both days. We have Jack Hanna live on stage at 11 and 1 each day. We have pumpkin carving. It's actually a contest. There's going to be judges. We have a Pioneer Village. We have the discounted ride wristbands for Jack's anniversary, so get online and check out the prices for all of those events. But there's so much going on those days. You might want to come out both days just to check it all out.
It'd be fun. Tiffany, thanks so much, and thanks for bringing Maggie in here. What, by the way, what kind? I noticed she's awfully quiet here in the studio. Do they make like a yipping or barking?
They're a barkless dog, but Maggie is one of the noisiest animals at the zoo. She howls and whines, and she's very spoiled at the zoo. So if Maggie doesn't get her way, that's how she communicates with us.
Oh, she's like us.
Just like you, Pete.
Well,
as a matter
okay,
of fact.
me.
Lots of whining.
Tiffany,
Thank
thanks
you.
again.
Appreciate
All right.
it.
Thanks, Maggie.
That was an
Did they say
interesting
goodbye
education.
face to face too? I don't know, kind of nice.